Thank you, Rami Ranjan for inviting us here. It was really, um, you actually, when I came here, I almost forgot uh, that we have been dealing with the pain for the last 4 years because people welcomed us with so much of warmth and hospitality. And sometimes you forget for even brief moments the kind of tragic lives people have lived, especially you, the story you narrated about your father, uh, Shaikh Nanak Singh Ji, and your own family. And I want to appreciate the kind of hard work, the kind of struggle and sacrifice your generation of Indian diaspora has made to today become a very powerful voice and a very powerful ethnic community in UK. The contribution of Indians is to the tune of almost 7% to British GDP, which is huge. Now, we have proved that yes, we are hardworking people, we are successful people, and whatever the field be, science, humanity, politics, everywhere you see Indians are shining today. But I believe that now it's also time to move to next level. We have achieved this. We are very proud of you. Everybody is very proud of Indians. The world suffers from, the biggest problem in the world is that this world is suffering from trust deficit. That's why there are conflicts and therefore there are so many problems. But there is only one community on the entire globe which can be trusted without even blinking your eye, and that is the Indian community. And I'm not saying it, the whole world says it. So we have, economically we are doing well. In science, in modern fields like IT, we are doing well. The top 10 companies, I believe 8 of them have Indian CEOs or maybe more. In pharma, we are ruling. And the way the leadership of India, Mr. Narendra Modi's government, the way they handled COVID crisis in India is one of the greatest examples of humanity to the entire world. In that moment of crisis, when people stopped giving resources to raw material to us, when China started blackmailing that if in next 2 hours, if you don't order PPE kits at a very, very high, it was like a financial blackmail. America refused to send raw material. India had no masks. India had no PPE kits. India had no lab. There was only one lab in Pune. 1.3 billion people's lives were at stake at that time. The leadership, efficient leadership of Mr. Narendra Modi's government, under his great leadership, we not only created our own vaccine within 7 months. And you'll be proud to know this vaccine was created by mostly women. 90% of them were all women, pregnant women, women who were looking after their mother-in-laws and their parents. And we saved not just 1.3 billion lives, we also sent vaccines free of cost to many developing nations. I believe it's more than 50 nations. We are moving on a very positive, very successful path. But now it's also time for Indian diaspora to collectively, unitedly create some noise also. Because in the modern world, in the world of social media, this is a war of narratives. And in this narrative, it's not just important to be successful for your grandchildren or for your own children and some few friends and in clubs and luncheons like this, is for the world to also see and believe that we are indeed very successful people. And this, who can do it better than you people? Because you have seen what it means to be voiceless. The Kashmir Files is an attempt to give voice to voiceless people, the Hindus of Kashmir. Our next film is going to give voice to these absolutely ignored and forgotten scientists of India. And after that, we are working on a very major project called the Delhi Files, which will be the voice not only of Hindus, not only of Indians, but of the entire humanity. We are artists, we can't do more than this. We can just create art which brings transformation, which starts dialogue, which brings humanity together and shows to the world what happens when inhuman people take over. The biggest threat to the world today is terrorism. And the only answer to terrorism is oneness, when we stand united and defeat them in no uncertain terms, when we have zero tolerance to terrorism. And it's very unfortunate that today when you talk about terrorism, all the lobbies come and blame you as Islamophobic. We need to change this, and there are lots of policymakers here, members of parliaments, lords, and all prominent people. We are standing in House of Lords right in front of Thames River in wonderful setting. This is the place from where so many laws were passed which have changed the destiny of the world. It's time for United Kingdom, which has colonized the world for so long, to now stand up and show to the world that everybody is united in fighting this war against terrorism. And in the end, all I want to tell you is that since we are talking about Kashmir, it's in Kashmir that Shiva's philosophy evolved, and that philosophy is about oneness, which means all of us are one. There is no duality. And the second philosophy which evolved in Kashmir was that there can be 1 million ways to reach the truth. No way is inferior to any other way. So anybody who wants to impose their faith, belief, ideology, thoughts with the help of guns and bombs should be condemned, and not just condemned, they should be defeated. And if it has to be defeated, only Shaivism, the philosophy of Shiva, can defeat it, which is the philosophy of oneness, which evolved in great civilization of India. On this note, I leave you with thoughts and great lunch right in front of Thames. Thank you, Lord Ramji. Thank you, everyone.